What is going on, guys? Jason here. It's been a while since I've had a guest on the show. We've got my main man, Zaki, here. He reached out to me about a month ago, and we finally got down to throwing this interview up. Man, I've actually been bragging about this guy to offline friends, online friends, saying, hey, this dude is killing it. And we're going to get into his story and just how inspiring it is, not only to me, but I'm guaranteeing to all of you guys out there. So, Zaki, what's going on, man?
Good. How about yourself, Jason?
Hey, pretty good, man. So let's jump into it, man. Let's talk a little bit about your story. I know we're going to delve into Shopify and some specifics here, but let's talk a little bit about your just beginning, your story. You're 19, right?
Yeah, I'm 19 years old, man.
Cool. And you live in Utah?
Yep, Salt Lake City. Got to put it down.
Yeah, dude. Actually, we talked about this. I might be going out that way. So
it's
about a
gonna
year.
Be crazy. We're gonna collab. Definitely collab.
Sure, man. Playing some ball. You talked about you play a lot of ball. So
yeah, I'm getting old now. Like I know it's not just how I used to be.
You'd be a rookie in the NBA right now, man. Come on now.
No, I know, but when basketball is a lifestyle, like it used to be, like your knees don't get tired. You can play for 4 hours. Now I play for an hour, and I got old man knees.
Bro, I'm old, man. I'm damn near blow my ACL out just getting out there shooting free throws, man. But not do it, man. I do it for stay in shape and to
just for the runs.
Just to play. I'm from Indiana, man, so that's what we do up here.
Definitely.
Cool, man. So so you're out in Utah, you're doing your thing, going to high school. What got you into this kind of entrepreneurial lifestyle?
I just got into it when I realized that I didn't want to be an engineer, a doctor, or anything that had maybe the salary or the money to achieve or the kind of lifestyle that I wanted, right? Mm-hmm. So I always knew what kind of lifestyle I wanted and what I wanted to achieve in life, what I wanted to have. Let it be materialistic, let it be freedom, time, whatever it may be. And I remember I just started brainstorming, maybe when I was a sophomore in high school, and I was like, okay, what kind of occupations lead to the lifestyle I want? So I just remember jotting down in this kind of engineer, mechanical engineer, software engineer, this kind of doctor, that kind of doctor, this kind of lawyer, that kind of lawyer. But then I slowly started to realize it's not worth it because you're still I'm spending my time in exchange for money. So I think when I was a junior in high school, I just had an epiphany. I was just like I can't do this. I'm just gonna try to do this little hustle thing. So at first it started with, I remember when I was younger, I used to sell Skittles and stuff. I used to flip those. And I remember they would okay, so this is a funny story. A lot of people don't know about this, but so our elementary would have these recesses, these big recesses where they would let everybody out and play in the sprinklers and stuff. So everybody would be wet and it'd be summer. So they wouldn't let anybody back into school. So everybody wanted to buy drinks from the vending machine. So earlier in the day, I would just buy a bunch of drinks for the 50 cents that they were and sell them for 75 since nobody could go back into the school.
Oh, dang. Okay. You're like Gary V, man. That sounds like something Gary V might do.
Legit. And then I remember it wasn't it was just kind of this little hustle thing. I made I think I made $30 that day. Just total, maybe $15 profit. And I was just happy. I was cool with it. But then and I just slowly, I think my parents maybe they were probably the ones that just brought me just down to to make me think so simple, you know what I mean? Just to limit myself, which kind of stood it kept me at the same level, didn't let me progress in any manner except for maybe education wise, stereotypical high school education. But then slowly I got out of that bubble when I just started looking. I was this is not what I want to do. And I started looking at online business since I was too young to actually have a legitimate physical business. And I was there's nobody's gonna take me serious at 17, 18 years old. So online business was nobody would discriminate because they don't know me, first of all. Yeah. So there's nobody knows what I look like or anything. So I just started delving. I just started learning right away. YouTube was a big tool. And I remember it was a long struggle because I know my parents for a fact thought I was crazy for a while. I'd be in my room 8-10 hours a day every single day. Just I still have the notebooks. There's a stack of notebooks right here, just full of notes. And they don't make the sense to anybody but me. They're just everything I learned over the last 2 years. And it was a lot of struggles. Of course, everybody has that low moment where you're just at the border of you're just I'm done with this. I haven't seen I haven't seen significant amount of change for the hours that I've put in. And I remember my parents would always tell me, if you put that amount of hours into a regular job, you could easily have 40 grand, 50 grand saved up. You know what I mean? And I was yeah, I could have easily, but then I just had all this success that just happened so fast. And it wasn't and to preach to everybody, I know that this doesn't happen overnight. Like if anybody thinks it's overnight success, like they weren't with me when I was up at 5 a.m., like just grinding, going to school and then coming back and just going back to my computer and like not talking to friends my senior year in high school. And I was just like, it's going to pay off later on, you know?
Wow,
Like
dude,
even my friends
that's
thought I was crazy.
inspiring, man. That's crazy. So you're sitting there, you're primarily on YouTube, right? Is that where you
At
got
first,
most of your notes?
Exactly. Till I like made a couple sales and I bought a course.
Okay, so the notes you were taking, were they all Shopify kind of e-com related, or a little bit of
At
everything?
first, it started because I wanted to look into something that was like low budget, like I didn't know upfront costs. So I started with a service-based business. So I started a service-based business. It was an SEO company, got into that slowly, and I brought a couple buddies of mine on. Like it didn't work out, it didn't pan out because like my buddies weren't on the same like page I was on. So I was majority doing the whole, like I was doing all the heavy work, right? So I was like learning. We pitched in, we did all these things. We got a website. I did the website. I did all these things, but they didn't want to take that step forward. So like they were kind of limiting me. Like we're good friends up to this day, right? Like, but I have nothing against them. Never knocked their hustle, but it's just they were limiting myself. Like we were just like it was. I don't know what it was, but like I wasn't moving. I was
fully committed. They probably weren't as fully committed as you were to the process.
The business suffered, right? So dropped that. Slowly looked into affiliate marketing and online business, and slowly started falling in love with affiliate marketing. But I just knew it wasn't my thing. Like, I don't know why. Like, it was just like, I felt like the scalability on affiliate marketing in the long-term wise, it wasn't just there for me. Especially since like I heard so many stories, people are making $100,000, $200,000 a month. All of a sudden that company just cuts that product and all the things that you've been building for the last 5 years just dies with it, like instantly.
Right.
So that's when I stepped into like the e-com, like, you know, like on YouTube, one video leads to another. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just see that suggested, you keep clicking, like 4 hours, 5 hours goes by. And like, I just fell in love with it. And I knew it was a thing for me because there was like no upfront product, no upfront costs. Like it was just a perfect business for me at my age, especially.
I tell people all the time, yeah, courses are great. And I mean, I do courses and whatnot, but man, you, like you said, you could spend years on e-com, on Shopify, just going through watching videos. So you're taking notes. Your parents are, downstairs like, what is he doing, man? He's crazy, right? And you're having to explain to them, look, guys, this is gonna pay off someday. Because I've done my research. I've listened to one of your interviews that you did, and you mentioned that, and so now they're kind of obviously probably on board with it. But
absolutely, they kind of I'm skeptical. They ask questions like where is it coming from? Like, does it all like check out?
Right.
And like they're like, gotta get in the, and like I gotta pay taxes now. Like probably like the best thing I thought of. But it's reality. And then Uncle Sam takes his cut.
Making the money. So
I didn't know Uncle Sam took that big of a cut. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, it definitely gets you, man. So you do your thing. You come to ecom and you're like, okay, I'm gonna throw a store together. So you threw a store together. And I'm assuming the first store that you came out with, what it's developed into now, like the theme and maybe some of the things you've done has changed, right? Can you walk us through like the first signing up for Shopify to like where you're at today?
My first store was kind of probably, I worried too much about the aesthetics. So I remember spending hours and hours and hours on this, making this amazing site. I'm talking, I have every product that like you think of on my site. And it's like full of pages. It was practically like a whole department store on my site, right?
Right.
And it looked amazing. Like I kid you not, like I worried about the wrong things. So I remember spending hours on my logo. Like I remember spending like hours on this and that and like creating descriptions and all the things that didn't matter. And I remember like the second I was like, okay, now I'm ready to launch. It was like, okay, what do I do with traffic? Like, how do I start this? How do I start that? And the traffic, like I didn't know enough about traffic and I was wondering why my site wasn't converting. Why I wasn't getting sales. I was getting 100 visitors, and I was like, okay, why am I not getting 50 sales? That was my whole logic.
Right. They should all be buying, yeah.
Exactly. I was like, my site's amazing. And I remember I was breaking down the numbers. Like I used to be a number guy when it came to Shopify. This is exactly what I would do. I'd be like, if 100 people come to my site, 10% would buy. 10% is 10 people, and I'd make this much a day for this many days. I'll make this much this month. That's how I broke it down. And I was like so sad when it didn't happen.
Yeah. No, you definitely, a lot of people think like that too, man. So it's interesting because I've done that too, where you're like, I'm gonna throw this whole thing and it's gonna look like, it's going to look like Amazon. It's going to look great. We're going to have 100 different categories, but like, kind of, we're going to jump all over probably in this interview, but like, I'm assuming what the success you have now, the big success you're having, is probably a few products, right? And we're not going to tell you guys what products they are because, but
I'll tell them exactly how many products. It's practically 4 that have they're related super together. Like, I don't really tell people that, but it's 1 made product and 1 upsell, 1 downsell, and a cross sell. Nice. So they're all related. So like the one thing that people like need to understand is you build like 1 product can make a whole store. Especially since we're not these big brands, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, like these big brands that spend millions and millions of dollars on marketing to be brand aware. Like, people go to their stores, Google them, and like just start adding stuff to their cart, And us, it's like we have to go out there and find the customers. So people worry about like too many like of the wrong things. Like, when I started making like sales, I started noticing that I started worrying about my product page more than my actual homepage. Because nobody was landing on my product page. I wasn't directing traffic to my homepage. I mean, I was directing traffic to my product page.
Right.
And so I was optimizing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, if like, I've heard this 100 times. Like, a lot of people, like one of my mentors, he told me, if somebody leaves your product page, just consider them, they're not a buyer. Like, you just lost a sale. Like, the sale should happen without them ever leaving that product page. Like, they stay on that product page, they add to cart. Like, it should be so seamless that they go through. And if they're uninterested, like, then they're gone.
And that's big for a lot of people watching, because I'm sure a lot of people, man, they get caught up in the, I want to have it perfect. But if you like you're saying, hey, if you just get 1 product and you get that right funnel,
Exactly. And like tweak things. Like, the one thing I looked at is, where did people fall off? Like, what was making people like not buy? Was it the price of this like upsell? Like, was it the product in itself? So like, I would always pivot. Like, I would always tweak it a little. Like, that was one thing that especially like took a while to find like the perfect formula. And I don't even think now it's still perfect. Like, there's still like place to make progression. But especially like when I was building it, like, I would see like my abandoned cart would be high at this point, especially with Google Analytics, like how long were people staying on my site and all those things. Like, these are tools like that people don't really utilize,
right,
but like play a big role, So it was like, if people were dropping off at my downsell, like, what was wrong with that? How did the product page look? Do I tweak this? Do I tweak the colors? Like, you know what I mean?
That's interesting. So were you, did it take you a while to find that product, or were you like, man, did you hit a home run like your first time out?
Definitely not. Like, it took me a while. Like, I thought too general, first of all. So I think a lot of people do this. They see YouTube videos and see the niches that people do in like these experiment stores on YouTube and stuff. Like, let it be a dog niche, like a pug necklace or a pit bull necklace or something. And they would go out there and make a store exactly like that. And that's exactly what I would used to do. Like, I'd be like, okay, if it's working for him, it got to work for me. Until I realized, I was like, okay, these videos have 400,000 views.
Everybody's
400,000 people just went and tried that,
Right.
So I just started looking outside the box, and it took a while. Like, I think probably the biggest hurdle for people to overcome e-commerce, and if they're able to overcome it, like, there's light at the end of the tunnel, is probably the product research and finding your niche. Because every niche makes money. It's just, you just have to break, like, how much are you willing to spend to acquire a customer, pretty much.
Yeah, I was listening to an interview. I think it was the same guy who interviewed you. What's his name? He's a good dude.
Mike Vestil.
Mike Vestil. He was interviewing, and I forget the guy's name, but the dude was struggling, man. He was struggling I think he said he was, in massive debt, 50 G's in debt.
Really?
And he basically said that, and what the guy said, one of the takeaways that I had is like, you got to have the right product at the right price and put it in front of the right people. And that's really the formula that
that's all you need, really. Like, you figure out who your target audience is. And the thing is, like, as you start learning, like, you figure this stuff out and you, like, your pixel starts getting fired up, like, the sky's the limit. Like, it just starts going north. Like, you just need the ball to start rolling and the snow just starts packing on. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And so
that's definitely inspirational for sure.
Yeah, like, definitely, like, especially like when I start seeing like little results, like, I swear, like, the thing is, like, money's like all relative. Like, because 6 months ago, 7 months ago, if you told me I could make $100 a day, I would have been like, I'm set.
Right.
19 years old, making $3K, $4K a month. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Like, I kid you not. Like, I'm good to go. I'm like, I'm set. I'm 19 years old. I can buy whatever I want at the store. I'll have this coming in. $100 a day. The next day I made 50. I was mad. Like, I was like, what is this? Like, $50 ain't money. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it was like legit. Like, that's how, I don't know, like, right now, like, if I don't hit my marks, like, my mark, like, averaging, like, it's like I hit like 5-6K a day. And
That's
if
an
I fall
average day
below,
for you.
that's my average. I tried like if I average it all out, because some days like it'll be higher than others. You know what I mean?
But each week it's probably around 5 or 6K, basically what you're doing.
A little more, like 15, 20 a week.
Well, I mean, like each day, like if you average the
Oh
week.
yeah, if I average out the week, yep, 5, 6K. But some days I'll fall below it and I'll hit like 3.5, and I'll be mad. Like I'll be like, what happened? Like, you know what I mean? Like I'll just be like it's not like maybe like I'm definitely like humble myself. Like it's a blessing to be able to do that. But it's just like I did such like I was able to do it prior. Like why can't I do it again? You know what I mean? And that's like going to be a big issue for a lot of people. People are going to make that $10 sale and be so happy. But then after their product costs and like their advertising costs, they're going to take home $3, and they're going to notice that it wasn't like it's possible, but like that $10 sale wasn't necessarily life changing.
Right. It's like you got the drive. You won the championship ring, so you want to repeat. You know, you don't want to come up short.
Exactly. Like LeBron doesn't just want he doesn't want to end there. Like even though he's the greatest player right now, like he still wants more.
He wants the Warriors to he wants KD to retire or something. So they can,
I don't think since Kyrie's leaving, I don't think that's gonna happen though.
Yeah, they're in trouble, man. Golden State, anyway, off the tangent, Golden State's probably gonna get it locked up for the next 2 or 3 years, which is
easily. They're gonna be a dynasty.
Are you a Utah fan?
Kind of more of a Chicago fan, but I had to stick with my roots, you know.
Yeah, man, they had a run, dude. But okay, so we can talk ball. We don't have to do a separate podcast for b-ball, but So look, okay, so you're kicking some major butt. You're driving on. What have you bought anything? Just kind of while we're talking, like, have you bought anything cool? What's the coolest thing you've bought since you started making some good money?
Now, like I'm in the process of getting a new car, hopefully. So it's gonna be a S63 AMG Mercedes.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah, but I'm just like waiting for like the right circumstances, the right price. I don't want to get into such a big. I'm not gonna buy it cash, obviously. Like never tie up that much. But I'm just waiting for the right circumstances, right price, right everything. But probably the most important thing, like maybe the tools I have, like new computers, maybe Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi was a big thing.
Right.
Like, but nothing like too serious that I've tried to invest like too much. I'm just like at this stage where I know that like 80K or 90K or 100K in a month isn't necessarily going to change my whole life. Like it's definitely going to change my life now, but I can't live off 100K for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? So I just got to keep producing and growing.
That's a great mentality, man. Never always stay hungry. So you mentioned a lot about like your lifestyle, man. You didn't want to be like a doctor that, you know, is basically working 90 hours a week. So what kind of lifestyle, man? Do you want to travel around the world? Is that kind of what you're going for?
Definitely. I just want to do what I want when I want. That's one thing I've realized. Like, just like if I'm feeling like doing it, I don't want money to ever be an issue. Like, I don't want to like let it be my family or anything. Like, let them want anything. I don't want to ever second guess and be like, is it like check the price tag? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to be at that like where my mom, my dad, like future, like my kids, like my siblings, like family in general. Like, I just don't want them to ever worry. Like, is it like, can we afford that? Can we not afford it? You know what I mean? That's just like the type of life like I want to live. Like just do what I want when I want, get what I want.
Nice, man. That's kind of why I got into it, man. Because I knew I wasn't cut out to clock punch a clock and go in there and
like know exactly how much you're gonna get for X amount of hours. Like the best thing probably about entrepreneurism is like if you put in the work, you're bound to see like success is limitless. Like you know what I mean? Like having a job, it like limits you. Like you work 10 hours, you get your pay, nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah. And, you know, I talk to my friends that have jobs. They have some good jobs and they'll be like, yeah, man, but I know what I'm going to make. I'm like, but you can make a lot more than that and you know, be able to like
the fear, the people that have jobs and stuff, it's a fear because like a paycheck is guaranteed, but like being an entrepreneur is not guaranteed. Definitely not. I was putting in 10 hours a day and I wasn't seeing no return. But the thing is, I control like the kind of success that I have. You know what I mean? And my income in general, like if I want to raise today, I put in some more work and I'll get a raise. If I want to, like, somebody controls theirs, but it's more of theirs is guaranteed, and it's just coming out of that bubble and not taking the risk. Like we're more of risk takers, honestly. Like we're ready for the thrill, and like there's no reward without risk.
Exactly. So let's get into a little bit of specifics because when we first had our phone conversation, you mentioned something to me that really kind of, blew my mind. I said, hey, Zaki, so we talked about how much money you were making and whatnot. We'll put a screenshot. You got like screenshots and stuff, all that. So we'll put that down below. And And so what we talked about was, hey, you probably went like the traditional Facebook ads route, but what you did in the title of this video, we talked about it. You utilized Instagram to really kickstart your entire funnel, right?
Definitely. The one thing for me was that I knew that I didn't have unlimited funds starting out. So I had to more of bootstrap things. And I started out with Facebook, like didn't see no return. So I saw no success with Facebook starting out, especially since like I'm doing this $5 a day thing, X amount of ad sets, splitting it up, testing. And like I didn't have the budget to test for weeks on weeks and not know if that next day was going to be the day that I made a break, right? The one thing I fell in love with Instagram influencers was I paid $50 for a shout out, and I knew after 24 hours if it was a winner or not. I was making money in less than 15 minutes if it was a winner. There was no catch, there was no nothing. As long as I did my part and did my research, I was making money. The second that post went up, I was making money. And there's nobody and it was more negotiable. That's one thing I loved about it. Like at the end of these Instagram pages are like underpriced. They don't know the value that they bring. They have 100, 500,000 followers in a specific category and niche. And they reach all these people that are like just categorized. I don't have to go look for my audience. I don't got to go test. I don't got to go do any of this. And they're going to charge me $50. It would have took me $200, $300, $400 to go test just to like fire up my pixel to get that amount of like add to carts. And I'm getting return. Like I just it was just good for me,
Yeah, I think Dan DeSilva, obviously, he's huge into the Instagram influencing scene. And I forget the stat he said, but I think he said, like, if you get a winning Facebook ad, it's like a 2-to-1. If you get Instagram, you get that right, it's like 11-to-1 profit, what you would spend.
It's ridiculous because it's super underpriced. Like, it's going to start catching up, like, eventually. Like, it's like they're not dumb. But the thing is, like, since this is not ran by, like, Facebook, which is a corporate company, like, you know what I mean? Like, these big companies that understand the value that they bring. Like, don't get me wrong, Facebook is super underpriced for right now also. But the thing is, Instagram influencers is like, they're these 13-year-old kids, 14-year-old kids that own these pages that have been running them. And they're like, okay, an extra, like me, I'm paying them $100 and I'm making 1,000. And they're just like, okay, cool, I made $100 today. And that's cool for them. Like, you know what I mean? They don't understand the power that they have in these pages. And I don't think a lot of people do. Like, they're following all these pages, but like these people like seem so natural on their time feed too. That's one thing why I think that Instagram like so like easily converts is because these people have like seen these pages so many times that it's so natural. So when they see an advertisement, it's like, oh, I know who this is from. Like, it's safe. Like, you know what I mean? I've been following this person. As in, like, on Instagram ads, even advertisements through Facebook or through the ads manager or Facebook ads, it's more surprise marketing. They've never seen you. They don't know who you are. They have no relation to you. Like, they must love your product if they're going to click on it, and they must like be super connected to you.
Right. Yeah. Somebody described it as like Facebook is like, in the mall, they have that kiosk. The guys are selling all this stuff. It's like, yo, come here. That's where it's at. Instagram, it's like your buddy, like, hey, man, check this product out. I kind of think that's a good
that's a perfect analogy. That's a perfect analogy. It's more of a warm referral.
Okay, cool, man. I'm going through this right now. Like, I'm trying to. You've inspired me, man. I have to admit that full on, dude. Like, I have no ego in that regard, man. I learn from anybody, and obviously you're
here. Like.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one thing. Like, there's this kid, actually. He owns an Instagram page that I work with. He's 14 years old, and he's teaching me the ropes around Instagram. Like, he got me my foot in the door, like, with these Instagram pages that have relationships with and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah, they have their own little community.
Exactly. And, like, that's, like, the most ridiculous part. Like, he's 14 years old. Like, I had no issue. Like, that's one thing I feel like with our generation, like, older people, like, especially when I had a service-based business, like, they would look at me like I'm crazy. You're 18, 17 years old. Like, what do you know about marketing? Like, what could you do with $1,000?
What's interesting in stuff, I've told people this too, man, like people your age, 19, 20, 16, 21, 22, it seems like you guys are crushing it on Shopify right now. And I think a lot of it is because, I mean, you guys are smart as hell. You're hard working. You can never replace that. But I think you guys just know like the social media game so well, and they go hand in hand. That's my theory. I think it
definitely plays a role. I feel like it definitely plays a role that like we're so natural with like social media in general, since we're on it. Like, we use it in our spare time. We use it to kill like in our actual like time. Like, you know what I mean? And like my mindset was like, why not utilize somebody else, like somebody going on and using their spare time and like make money off of it? You know, that's like my whole thought. Like, that's my whole like logic to it.
So So I was listening. So I did the research, and you said you had like $500, right? That was your budget. You did 250 on. I'll spare you having to tell the story, but you did 250 on Facebook. Didn't go so well. He's like, you know what? I got to take this 250 to Instagram, right? And that's where you began with. You just emailed the people, said, hey, like I want to do.
I was emailing, DMing. I remember I was just one thing that like because I follow Gary Vee. One thing that stuck with me, like especially like early on, was like especially like later on when I started to see more success, was he would be like DM people. So like that's one thing that I would DM people till I hit my limit, and it like Instagram has an hour limit, so you can only DM X amount of people. So I'd have an alarm set for every hour, and I would start DMing people till I hit my limit again. Have an alarm set, start DMing people, have emails, and it was like this copy paste email. So it would just be like boom, 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 boom. And then like I would just filter through like who could I afford, who could I not, who has the activity that I need, this, that. And I would just start testing. Like, and like these people are negotiable. They're people at the end of the day. They got bills to pay. Like they're just like us. Like they got a business to run. And like some of them, like some guy he had 50,000 followers. He'd be like, $500. And I'd be like, okay, you're nuts. Like,
yeah.
Like,
I got a couple emails, me and my business partner, like it'd be $1,000. Like you better have a very engaged page if you're gonna. I mean, it's worth
have 5 million followers.
Yeah.
It's like the most I paid for an advertisement was $900, and it was on a 7 million follower page.
And they were all highly engaged, I'm assuming.
Definitely, he was getting like 2 million views. Like that's one thing, like especially video engagements, because not everybody like will like a photo or stuff like that. So it's hard to gauge with likes and stuff. So I definitely look at views and stuff like that. Just so because views can't be faked on Instagram. That's one thing people need to know. Like likes can be faked, followers can be faked, comments can even be bots, but views cannot be faked.
Yeah, no, that's smart, man. So you kind of know the game now. You kind of know where and you've probably got a group of people that you're dealing with. So you're not having to do all the DMing and the emailing every day, right?
Yes. I'm slowly getting into the automation stage. I'm slowly getting rid of like the emails and like just like bringing people on, like to get of all like trying to scale the business, to actually focus on the business and the tedious tasks. That's probably the stage I'm in right now, this month especially, and like fulfillments, customer service, DMing, like just communicating with everybody and just like making it a system.
Right.
That's what I want to do, and then just grow the system so the company can grow.
Do you have a VA helping you with the orders now?
I got a couple. I got 3 VAs right now. Looking for 2 more slowly. So like I got one for customer service, one for fulfillments, and then one that's just like my personal that like filters my email list and like my emails and stuff like that. Cool. And a video editor also.
So a lot of your video, like a lot of your ads video based now, or are they pictures or kind of both?
Depending on the product that I use. If it's more of an action product, like I'll definitely use a video, but if it's more of just let's like just throw it out there, jewelry. If it was a jewelry product, I'm gonna use more of a picture.
Right.
Because it's not like simple. It's not action exactly. Just like somebody wearing it. Like especially like I look at the demographic of a page. Like if the page is majority men, like I would probably go for a man wearing the product. If a woman, like attractive woman, and like I would pay people to wear these products. You know what I mean? So I can get pictures. Okay, take a photo shoot, $100. Okay, no problem. And they like take amazing pictures. And like even then, like I would just go to Google and find great pictures.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like put them on my store and put them on these product pages and put them on this Instagram influencer pages, and they would convert well.
Wow, man. You're blowing my mind, dude. I mean, it's so simple in the sense of like but you had to do a lot of work. You had to sift through, I'm assuming, a ton of emails, negotiate.
The thing is, like the people don't understand is like the Instagram influence side is probably the easiest. The hardest part is the product research and finding your product. That's a winner. Right. You know what I mean? Because especially you got to understand that Instagram is more of a younger market. So you have to grow as the market grows, right? So if I'm kind of looking at it as a 5-year game. So if there's 13-year-olds on this platform, and I'm looking at like 13-year-olds and they're going to be 18 soon, like what products, like you got to be like a step ahead. Like, you know what I mean? Because I know every product will die out eventually if you're not building a brand. Like right now I'm in the stage where I have a cash flow business and I want to get into the branding aspect and like build a brand, more of a long-term business, which maybe I could like grow and just keep, or grow and sell eventually.
Yeah, if you look at there's a list, I forget how you do it. I'll post a link, but you can search all the top Shopify stores, and like most of them are branded a lot,
Like Kylie Cosmetics, like
right.
Kylie Jenner, she does like 20. I think she's like up 360 million for like a year. But just through her Shopify store, I think she does like 30 to like 25 to 30 million a year.
Jeez. Yeah.
And she sells out like every drop. But like that's more of like she uses her influence just to sell. She has 70 million followers and she's doing $3-4 million a month. Like
just on her page. Wow.
Exactly. No advertising. That's the crazy part. She does no advertising.
Yeah, definitely, man. She's got a unique situation, but the branding ways to go, like you got like Bird Dogs. I think they're huge. I'm a big shoe sneakerhead. What's the other Incas? They're Shopify, so a lot of the shoe game is, killing it right now. So, okay. So you're doing that. And you're going to look into get into doing like a branded store or turn your current store into a brand type of deal. Is that kind of the next step?
I'm probably going to brainstorm for a little bit since I want to kind of get it right on the first try, learn a lot about it since it's more of a different business model. Like you don't want to necessarily drop ship. It's going to cost a lot more upfront. But now since like I don't have to bootstrap and I can invest and think of the long term, it's not going to be really an issue. So like right now I'm going to keep the cash flow business going just so I can have constant cash flow. Like I've gotten some crazy offers. People have been offering me to buy my store. Like that's one thing I wouldn't do.
Right.
If I have a cash cow and I could like just cash out every month and it's bringing in cash, like, and I don't have to worry about income, like I wouldn't do that.
I've had that happen. It's like, yeah, you could get a lot of money up front, but your store theoretically could be paying you 20 years from now,
Exactly. So it could keep going. Yeah. Exactly. That's what and especially like right now, I know how scalable my store is. Like by the end of this year, I think I could do 100 to 150K a month consistently and just like keep scaling from there. And honestly, it's like, as I start automating it more, I know it'll grow. Like that's the only thing. Like the only reason my store is limited is because my time is limited. And as I start freeing up my time and focusing on the things that matter, I know my store will grow.
Exactly. So let's double back real quick, just a little bit more on the tactics side of it. So you did the Instagram, and then you still do Facebook, right? You're using a lot of the pixel. You're seasoning that pixel.
Exactly. I do season my pixel. I don't use it a majority, like too much, since I'm doubling down on what's working. But as I grow the business, I know the one reason my business is so scalable is because the second I double down on lookalike audiences that I have and how fired up my pixel is, it's almost game over. Like since how many visits I've got, how many people have gone to my site, how like after a couple months, after my pixel's fired up, I just started doing lookalike audiences, and I could easily say I could 25% raise the income of the store monthly.
Wow. So I'm sure you remember where you're at when this funnel started to really pop, or what was going through your head when you're like, oh my Lord, I think I figured it out? Did you have that moment? Like I got to turn off
I definitely did.
Cha-chings on my phone and all that, right?
That's exactly what happened. So the prior month in May, I was like June, I made like 4K, and then June, I think I made like 8K or like 9K. I'm not sure exactly. But then July is exactly like starting like June 31st and like July 1st. That's when I found it. Like I just knew. Like I was like, I think I made like 3,000-4,000 that first day, and it just started growing. And then like a couple days in, I made 13K in a day. And I was like, it's like crazy. And like I knew, like I turned off that day I left my notifications on. And I just remember I just kept scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, like it wouldn't end. You know what I mean? And I was just like, okay, so I think I know exactly what I've done. And now it's just like replicate the process. And I just turned off the notifications. Now like every day, it's like at the end of the day, I look what I've done. That's exactly like after this call, I'm probably gonna go look.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know I'm making sales. Just at the end of the day, I'm just gonna go look how much exactly did I make, just to like do everything and just like see if I'm gonna have a smile at the end of the day or sleep mad and figure out like what went wrong,
Right, dude. That's the mentality, man. Like, a lot of people, I think, they rest on their laurels, man. They get to that point, they're like, oh, I'm going to coast, but you're trying to take it to who knows? I mean, however high you want to take it.
But the one thing is I've realized is I'm working harder than I was before I was making money. That's one thing I've realized now. Like now I don't have no spare time. Like before I would like 8-10 hours a day, but now it's like all I think about is my business. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you start seeing like little success, there's two kinds of people. I know for a fact there's people that like they see a little bit of success and they just chill. They're like, okay, I got a little of my goals. Like I'm gonna just take a little break, like enjoy this. But me, it's like the exact opposite. Like I'm just like I just want to be good for the rest of my life. That's the kind of like mentality I have. Like I just want to reach the point where I'm good. Like I know, you know what I mean? Like passive.
Are you doing anything now to continue the education? Are you still going through YouTube? Are you still going through courses and whatnot? And coaching?
I've been connecting with a lot of people. So like, for example, I connected with Dan Da Silva, connected with Dan Buchan, Michael Ambrose, trying to connect with Adrian Morrison. So it's more people that are like doing crazy numbers, 5, 6, $10 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian Gomez is killing it. So like all these people that I'm trying to connect with, like try to get to their level on even like a personal brand level and like just Shopify in general. So just like trying to connect with people, because I know for a fact like courses is cool, like in my niche, but like if it's like I want to learn about email marketing. Like I bought a course the other day by Alex Becker. Have you heard of him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Alex Becker is definitely a cool guy. Like, and like I know connections lead to more connections, because like I feel like Dan Silva's practically a mentor to me, and he's like buddies with Alex Becker. So I feel like eventually, like if I get to the next level, like I could connect to Alex Becker, and that connects like with more people. You know what I mean? Like just get my foot in the door.
Talk, man. I mean, I get a lot of people emailing me, and you're a good networker, dude. You hit me up, I'm like, man, because as I told you, it's hard to, with me being a full-time single dad, man, it's hard for me to even break away for a minute. That's why we're doing this late. So I appreciate it, even though you're a little. Yeah, I'm a little early, so you're good. So, but yeah, man. So that's why I was like, I gotta talk to this dude, man, because results talk. So I have no doubt, man, you'll be able to connect with whoever, maybe like MJ or something, man. You might be
maybe I'll reach that level. No, the thing is, I feel like money and like kind of status, maybe even like, cause like at the end of the day, like I feel like even myself, like if somebody's like, just like I'm at zero, I'm just like, there's so many free assets out there. Like, I'm like, you have to go do something before you come. I can't help you. Like, you know what I mean? I bet you feel that all the time. Like you have to go take some action and get the ball rolling before somebody can actually help you like get to there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like
everybody wants everything handed to them.
Yeah, I mean, you were up in your room with notebooks, man. You have to post those on Instagram, man. You don't have to post the content. It's just
I'm gonna post the stacks. I'm gonna post the stacks, and like they're ruffled up. Like a couple of them got like coffee stains and like Pepsi stains.
Yeah, man.
And like they've been through the worst. Like I think I could make a book at the end of the day.
You could after man. That, like yeah. I mean, that's like you said, man. There's so many free resources, man. This video, man. You drop dimes in the video.
If somebody watches this video, and they could easily. The one thing that I want to do with my channel in itself, like, is I just want to drop content where people like can take action. Like the one thing is like it's cliche, like everybody says it, go take action, blah blah blah. But to be honest, that's what it really comes down to. Because I remember there was a point where I was watching so many videos and I was like, okay, why am I not seeing them? Because I didn't start my store. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't doing anything like productive. I was worrying about the wrong things. I was like looking at my story, like making sure it was aesthetic wise, but I wasn't running ads. Why am I not making progress? That was like, why am I not making money? Okay, I'm not running ads. That was like, okay, now I got to wake up and just start doing,
Exactly, man. Action trumps everything. So how long, okay, real quick, man, because I know you got to get rolling, but how long before when you kind of first started your first store to you found your winning funnel, the one that's killing it for you right now, how long did that take? Like how many products, how many months or weeks did that take to get you there?
Honestly, it took like maybe a little over 11 months. Like business in general, I was on online business maybe like coming on 2 years soon. Like actually next month coming on 2 years. So like it was like honestly like I was on actually a year easily. I was on Shopify. And I didn't see success maybe for 9 months, honestly. So there was like maybe a little progress, a sale here, $100 a day here, but nothing like that could, like, I'd be like, okay, my life's set. Like I just made some like nothing, nobody would be like, okay, he actually did something. You know what I mean?
Right.
$20 here, $30 here. Like, you know what I mean? And it wasn't nothing. And like, those were honestly like by accident. Some of them were by accident. Like somebody would like, I guess, fumble across my Instagram page, buy, like, you know what I mean? And I'd be so happy. I'd wake up in the morning and be like, no way, I made a sale. Like, you know what I mean? And like, when I started actually taking action and doubling down, there was so many products that I tried with so much. I tried free advertising because I didn't want to actually risk money. Like that was one point like I went to, and it didn't do so well. And I went like, there was so many routes I went. Like I tried to sell stuff like to people. Like I knew, I was like, okay, you like this necklace? That I could order this for you. $10, and I'd buy it off AliExpress for $1. And I'd be like, it's going to be here in 40 days. Because I didn't want to pay for the e-packet shipping. And I was being stingy.
They're like, yo, I forgot about my necklace, man. Where's that at?
Exactly. Like that's exactly like what was happening. Like eventually, like after so many hours, like so many trials and all that stuff. Like I guess everybody says this, but like to be honest, that's what it's all about. Like, I bet you had your fair share of like failures and trials and just those hours that nobody knows about.
Yeah, man, it's like back to the basketball analogy, man. They see the guys, you know, out there on the court hoisting a trophy, but what you don't see is hours they put in the gym to get them
Exactly.
there.
Even for me with basketball, like I could have played. I actually had a couple junior college offers, but I knew like it wasn't like it was. It wasn't like I didn't really want that. You know what I mean? Like
You want
waste
to
a
go
couple
big.
years.
If you're gonna go big, you might as well go to the top. Yeah, I get it.
Exactly. Like, you know, like junior college is cool. Like I might be able to transfer. Like I kind of like had a self check, like a self reality. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm good at basketball, but am I that? I'm 6'1". Like am I gonna be that good? Like, yeah, let's like do some numbers. Like, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I did basketball because I loved it, but also because I did it because I wanted money. Like I think a lot of people do it because they want that lifestyle and they want to support their families and stuff. And I just realized there's a lot more statistical wise, like even numbers don't lie. Like it's easier ways to accomplish those things.
Yeah, it's hard to make
like,
it to the NBA.
It is, and like people
There's
don't
400 people in the NBA, so yeah.
Understand that 400 people and like you're one of the best in the world. Like it's the best like the best league in the world.
It's the best league, yeah.
Exactly, and like people don't understand. Like I put in so many hours into basketball and stuff, and that was only way I reached this level. And people don't understand the Shopify like analogy. Like you got to put in the work. To be honest, like nothing comes easy. Like if you like people play sports, people have hobbies, people play instruments. Learn how to play the piano overnight. You didn't learn how to like shoot. Like you don't have a nice jumper, a nice hezzy, like a nice crossover, anything overnight. Like you had to put in hours, and you started with nothing. Like that's one thing a lot of people got to understand.
Exactly, man. So, wow, man, you got me pumped up, man. So I wanna thank you, man, for jumping on this channel, Zaki. Where can the people find you, man? Because I can tell you right now, I've interviewed quite a few people on this channel, dude, and you're at the top of that list as far as results and impressiveness, man. So I want to really thank you for jumping on here with me.
Absolutely. They can find me on my YouTube channel. That's probably going to be in the link, but in the description, it's youtube.com/therealzaki. So the real, and then my name, Zaki.
Cool, man. So we got to do a part 2. I know the people are going to want a part 2, man. So hopefully we can set up a part 2 and keep this going, man, because people are going to be interested. So you guys definitely got to subscribe to Zaki's channel. Follow everything he's doing. This guy's got you already got a few videos rolling on there, right?
Yeah, I do. I just want to provide free value. That's one thing. Like from beginners to people that have been doing this for a year, that like we're in my like my shoes. You know what I mean? Like I was able to have like a stepping stone where I had success, but like there's people that just need that like little push, and I just want my channel to be that little free value, whatever it may be. Like there's always that little trigger in somebody's head that might be that epiphany that gets them to the next level, to gets them to where they want to be. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what I want to do with my channel.
Man. So I want to be someone that,
and vice versa,
Yeah, because I'm gonna get this Instagram thing flying, man. So I'm gonna report back with you and let you know how that's going, man. I'll obviously keep the channel involved. And also got one last thing. I've got a 21-day free trial for anybody who wants to get a store going, take some massive action, and change your life like Zaki did, and continue to and start making money. So thanks, Zaki. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Absolutely. See you guys.